It worked for me. It'll work for y'all.
That's one hell of a story.
Before I get into this video, I want you to do something for me. I want you to think about what you want to achieve most in life. What do you want your life to look like? Once you have that picture in your head, I want you to dismiss every excuse you've ever made that has prevented you from getting to where you want to be. Lack of money, lack of education, race, nationality, network, experience, all of them. I want you to dismiss all of them and just see yourself as having accomplished exactly what you want in life. If you can picture yourself as having the life you want and not willing to accept any excuses, you can be who you want to be, do what you want to do, and have what you want to have. And if you don't believe me, keep watching until the end of this video, and I promise I'll prove it to you. Last week, I shared with you how Henry Ford used determination to rise from obscurity to one of the wealthiest men in the world. And for those of you who are thinking, yeah, but he was a white man, I want you to be very sure to catch next week's video where we're going to look at a black woman who did the same thing as Ford during the same period of time. True enough, this week, I'd like to tell you about a black woman who, during the early 1900s, became a self-made millionaire. The year is 1867, and slaves in America had recently gained their freedom following the Civil War. In that same year, two of these newly freed slaves gave birth to a baby girl, who they named Sarah Breedlove. By 14, Sarah would be married, and by 20, would be a widow with a daughter of her own. But even as a young single mother in the late 1800s, Sarah had a dream that she knew would come to pass. With just $2 to her name, she began working toward that dream.
Give me 110. Me too.
I'll take one. How much is she said grow hair? Get that one. Thank you, baby.
Ooh.
It's worth the money. I can't wait to try. Let me know how you're doing with it, okay? Check back in with me.
By the early 1900s, Sarah would remarry and become known as Madam C.J. Walker. With vision and determination, she revolutionized the hair care industry with what seemed to be a magic formula called Wonderful Hair Grower. For the first time in history, black women had a solution for improving the appearance of nappy hair. Madam Walker became a sensation because through her hair care products, she not only solved a major problem that black women faced all around the world, that is, trying to style unruly nappy hair, but she also helped to empower these women as their self-image drastically improved. She helped them and the world to see that black truly is beautiful. Madam C.J. Walker became so financially successful that she was earning $1,000 a day.
Madam Walker was making $1,000 a day. And if it went to 900 today, tomorrow it'd be 1,100. And they were less than $1,000 a day, and that was week in and week out for I don't know how many years, but for a long, long time. And at that time, there was no tax taken out of it.
Can you imagine earning $1,000 a day back in 1910? I mean, even in today's money, earning that much per day nets you $30,000 a month. That's over $300,000 a year. Far more than what most Americans are even earning today. Madam C.J. Walker is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the first woman to become a self-made millionaire. Not just the first Black woman, but the first woman of any race, including white women. If a white woman had money during the early 1900s, it was because she was either born into wealth or her husband had money. And the reason I point that out is because so often in the Black community, we attribute wealth and success primarily to white people, which is ignorant of the history and reality that there have been and currently are many wealthy Black people in our country and, in fact, around the world. We just don't hear anything about them in the mainstream media because, well, the mainstream media is too busy trying to paint us as victims all the time. But I digress. The point is, when we consider the life of Madam C.J. Walker, there is not one conceivable excuse that any of us have for not achieving our own version of greatness in life.
Don't know how I dreamt it, but I wasn't gonna let anything stop me.
I mean, this was a Black woman in the early 1900s. She's Black, and worse still, she's a woman. She's born poor and has no formal education, and yet with a vision and determination and resiliency, she pulled herself up to prosperity from nothingness. And I'm here to tell you today that you too can do the same thing. I mean, think about how much more difficult your life would have been in 1905 compared to now. How much more difficult would it be starting a business, for example, without having access to the type of technology that we take for granted today? We currently have so much more than Walker could have ever even dreamed, and yet she didn't let any of that stop her.
Dreams are God's way of showing us his plans. The good Lord don't want us to just sit around and wait for things to happen. Gotta go out and light a match under whatever it is you want.
The bottom line is there are no excuses. Determine exactly what it is you want and make up your mind to go and get it. Period. If you're interested in learning more about Madam C.J. Walker and her story, I encourage you to check out the Netflix limited series Self-Made. It is sure to inspire you. Before you go, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment on this video. I'd really love to hear from you, and I greatly appreciate you for watching. Until next time, my name is Javon Harris of Seek, and I pray that our great God and Savior blesses you and keeps you in all that you do for his glory. I love you. Peace.